standing on $5 million of real money, the largest grand prize in entertainment history.
MrBeast's challenges are massive, millions of views, life-changing prizes. But with that much money on the line, not everyone plays fair. Some contestants found loopholes, bent the rules, or flat out cheated, and in some cases, they got away with it. These are 7 times people cheated in MrBeast videos.
I got pregnant at Beast Games. Turns out the father was another contestant. This guy got me pregnant.
Winning a Lamborghini sounds like a dream, but when the rules are simple, keep your hand on the car and you win.
Whoever takes their hand off last gets the $300,000 car.
You'd think cheating would be impossible, right? Well, just 5 minutes into the challenge, one contestant tried their luck. The setup was straightforward. Last person to take their hand off the Lamborghini wins. Dozens of hopefuls stood around the car, hands firmly placed, all chasing the life-changing prize. Then out of nowhere, one contestant lifted both hands. Why? To tie his shoes. Now, normally in a MrBeast challenge, that's game over. An instant disqualification.
And I looked up and I was like, dang, I'm toast!
The chat already calling it out. Bro, he's out. Nah, that's a DQ right there. Did MrBeast just miss that? And surprisingly, MrBeast did nothing. He saw it happen but didn't react. Viewers rewatched the clip, confused. Did MrBeast just let a cheater slide? But there was more to the story. That contestant had a backup plan. Earlier in the video, MrBeast had removed the Lamborghini's windshield wiper and told contestants they could hold on to it instead of the car. A clever rule, allowing players to take bathroom breaks or stretch without technically letting go.
You're probably wondering, how do you use the bathroom? Chris, rip off the windshield wiper. We now have a windshield wiper that if you're touching with your right hand, you are still technically touching the car. There you go. You can get off the car.
And this contestant, he had the wiper. For casual viewers, it looked like straight up cheating, but according to the rules, he was in the clear. Still, his luck didn't last long because later in the challenge, during a power nap, he let go completely. And this time, there were no second chances. The moment sparked a wave of debate online. Some fans thought he got away with too much. Others said it was smart strategy. But one thing was clear, when that much money is on the line, every tiny detail matters. Imagine playing a game so intense, so mentally exhausting that it lasts 70 hours straight. Now imagine competing against over 1 million people worldwide, all for a $25,000 prize. Clips of people playing the game. That's exactly what happened in MrBeast's finger on the app challenge. But with that much money on the line, some players refused to play fair. The challenge was simple. Keep your finger on the app the longest and you win. But what started as an innocent competition quickly turned into a battle of wits, endurance, and alleged cheating. On the surface, the rules seemed foolproof. Players had to physically touch their phone screens at all times. To prevent bots, MrBeast's team even added random pop-ups that required users to tap certain spots on the screen. But some people, they found workarounds. A YouTuber named 4DBuilds shared a method using a machine to simulate a finger pressing the screen.
Complete the challenge for us. I did not intend on winning this challenge, and if I did win, I would have given away all the money, but I was just seeing how long I could have my 3D printer go. It's more of a man versus machine kind of challenge for me. The night before the challenge, I duct taped a capacitive touch stylus to my 3D printer, and then I played with a G-code file on my 3D printer to make sure it never went up and it stayed at a constant level, spinning in a square pattern. I intended for my 3D printer to complete the challenge on an iPhone 6S because it has a smaller screen, and I thought it would have been easier for my 3D printer to reach all the points on the phone.
Another user, 3E8, took things even further, attaching a stylus to a 3D printer, programming it to move exactly like a human finger. The goal? Fool the system? The result? Disaster. 3E8's setup worked for a while, but then it malfunctioned. The cheap stylus slipped at the worst possible moment, causing instant disqualification. And 4DBuilds, their machine never made it past testing. But the real controversy? Many still believe that at least one of the final 4 contestants who won $20,000 each may have used some form of automation. Even MrBeast himself was reportedly suspicious, with some fans believing he ended the challenge early to avoid dealing with a situation where bots may have outlasted humans. To this day, nobody knows for sure if a cheater actually won, but one thing's certain: when MrBeast puts $25,000 on the table, people will do anything to win.
I did not take the finger. I did not take my finger. Bro, it's bullshit. I did not take my finger.
What the happened? I just died.
Out?
Yep.
We just glitched out and it instantly went to MrBeast YouTube.
Just lose like that? Yeah, whoever was right, yeah, I just lost it.
My finger was literally on it. I was moving the whole time.
When MrBeast recreated Squid Game in real life, it was one of his biggest and most expensive challenges ever.
56 people survives the longest, wins 456 grand.
$3.5 million spent, 456 contestants, one winner.
How much you made on Squid Game, and I want you to tell me if it is true or false. You don't have to explain anymore.
Okay.
You spent $3.5 million to make.
Well, it ended up being 4.2 million.
$4.2 million to make Squid Game.
Yeah, 4,250,000. Yeah.
That you made 1.5 million ad revenue, $2 million from your sponsor for it, and then like 700K for merch, aka you made 4.2 million. So then you would have gone even. True or false?
But when the final game came down to a simple round of musical chairs, one contestant's questionable strategy left fans debating if he truly deserved to win. The final 6 players had made it through every deadly Squid Game challenge: red light, green light, tug of war, even the glass bridge. Now, only one thing stood between them and the grand prize: a children's game. The rules were simple: when the music plays, walk around the chairs; when it stops, sit down. The last person standing is eliminated. Sounds fair, right? Well, one contestant, he wasn't taking any chances. From the very start, he broke one of MrBeast's biggest rules. Instead of walking normally like the other players, he hovered over the chairs the entire time, barely moving, staying inches away, ready to drop the second the music stopped. The chat losing it. Bro, he's camping the chair. This ain't musical chairs, this is musical statues. How is this allowed? And MrBeast, he called it out, saying players had to keep moving.
Keep it moving. No, you gotta keep moving.
But did the contestant stop? Nope. And when the music stopped for the final time, he sat down first. He won. He walked away with $456,000.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
The backlash was immediate. Fans argued that he wasn't really playing the game. He was waiting, camping, abusing a loophole. Some even compared it to cheating. Others, they said it was just strategy. MrBeast never took the prize back. The contestant kept his winnings. But one thing is clear, this wasn't the fairy tale ending fans expected. It was a win. But was it deserved? One of the most intense moments in MrBeast's real life Squid Game challenge wasn't because of the players, it was because of MrBeast himself. A single accidental word almost changed the outcome of the game, and one contestant used it to their advantage. The challenge was simple: red light, green light. When MrBeast said green light, contestants could move. When he said red light, they had to freeze immediately. Anyone caught moving, eliminated. But then, something unexpected happened. The game had been going for a while, and tension was building. Contestants were trying their best to stay completely still. Then out of nowhere, one player sprinted forward. The audience gasped. The chat exploding. Bro just threw his life away. Why would he do that? Yeah, he's done. Even MrBeast himself was confused, until his cameraman pointed something out. MrBeast had accidentally said green light earlier, before setting down his microphone.
We're gonna be here a while. Does anybody need a snack?
Wait, you're definitely eliminated.
You did say red light, green light at the end.
Red light. Let me review the footage and see if he's correct.
When you were explaining the rules, you said
red light, green light. There's no time limit. Yeah, we have our first finisher by technicality.
I was worried I threw it all away when I thought I heard it.
It was green light. I'm surprised more of you didn't catch on.
The contestant, he heard it, he remembered, and he used it. The reaction was split. Some called it brilliant, others unfair. But since MrBeast technically said the words, the contestant was allowed to stay in the game. He didn't win in the end, but for a brief moment, he was the only contestant who had outsmarted MrBeast himself. When MrBeast hosts a challenge, you expect contestants to push their limits, think strategically, and fight for the prize. But in one Minecraft treasure hunt, a well-known streamer didn't just play smart, he may have bent the rules entirely. The challenge was straightforward. Find the hidden treasure chest. First to locate it wins $100,000. Hundreds of players were searching, digging, sprinting, exploring every inch of the map, and then, just 1 hour in, a player found it. His name? Tubbo. And his win, it raised a lot of questions. Almost immediately, Dream, the creator of the Dream SMP, called it out. How did Tubbo find the chest so fast? Dream pointed out that Tubbo had altered his game settings, specifically adjusting his field of view, FOV, and enabling view bobbing. What does that do? It allows players to see through walls more easily. Basically, a built-in way to X-ray through the game. For Dream, this wasn't just luck, it was an unfair advantage, and he wasn't the only one who thought so. The chat exploding. Wait, did he just cheat? Bro literally had wall hacks on Minecraft. Dream is mad, and I don't blame him. Tubbo, on the other hand, insisted it wasn't cheating. He didn't use any hacks. He just changed the normal game settings. If it was really an unfair advantage, why wasn't it banned from the start? The debate raged on. Some called Tubbo's win completely fair. Others said it was cheap, unfair, and should have been disqualified. Even Dream admitted he wished the treasure hunt had lasted longer. But at the end of the day, Tubbo kept the $100,000. And MrBeast, he never officially called it cheating. But whether Tubbo earned his victory or exploited a loophole, that's still up for debate.
Have you found it, Tubbo?
What?
You got it?
Yes! I got it!
Tubbo!
Yes!
Oh my god, Tubbo, you legend!
Really? Let's go!
Tubbo, you legend! Yes, Tubbo, my man!
Congratulations on literally winning 100.
MrBeast's challenges aren't just about physical endurance or gaming skills. Sometimes they test knowledge. And in one of his biggest trivia competitions, 2 contestants walked away with $300,000. But according to the fans, they should have never won at all. It was supposed to be a fair competition. The rules? Simple. Contestants faced off in a trivia bracket. Answer the most questions correctly, you move on. Last one standing wins the prize. But 2 contestants, Dixie and Charlie D'Amelio, were accused of doing something that completely broke the game. Throughout the challenge, fans noticed something strange. Whenever the sisters struggled with a question, they glanced off camera. At first, it seemed innocent, but then people started piecing it together. Their entire family was sitting just outside the frame, and more importantly, they had access to phones. The chat catching on immediately. Wait, they're getting help? Bro, they're literally looking at Google. MrBeast is just letting this slide? As the competition got closer to the final round, the accusations got worse. In one critical moment, Dixie hesitated before answering a question, then suddenly got it right. Fans pointed out that her eyes shifted off screen first. And Charlie, she was even seen holding her phone. To many, this wasn't just suspicious. It was blatant cheating. Even Reddit users broke down every suspicious moment, analyzing every time the sisters seemed to receive outside help. But here's where things got interesting. Despite the backlash, the D'Amelio sisters didn't keep the money. Instead, they gave it away to their YouTube subscribers. Some fans saw this as damage control, a way to avoid backlash. Others said it didn't matter. They still cheated to win. And MrBeast, he never officially disqualified them. But for a lot of fans, this was one of the biggest cheating wins in MrBeast's challenge history. MrBeast's Creator Games brought together the biggest YouTubers to compete for huge cash prizes.
I've gathered 50 of the biggest YouTubers on the planet,
And whichever one lasts the longest in this cube wins that $1 million for their subscribers.
But in Creator Games 3, one contestant came forward claiming the game was rigged. Her name? Rosanna Pansino. A well-known YouTuber, Rosanna had competed fairly, answered questions correctly, and was one of the last players remaining. But when the final video was uploaded, according to Rosanna, key parts of the game had been edited out. Moments that could have changed the entire outcome. She was shown answering fewer questions than she actually got right. Some of her correct answers were completely removed from the final cut. The pacing of the video made it look like she was struggling, when in reality, she wasn't. And because of that, she was eliminated early. The chat exploding. Wait, they edited her out? That's straight up shady. MrBeast, we need answers. Rosanna didn't stay quiet. She went public with her frustration, calling out the unfair editing and how it affected the perception of the game. For her, it wasn't just about winning. It was about making sure the competition was fair.
So, I'm sure most of you have seen that there's been a lot of news coming out about MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson, some of his employees, and his, in my opinion, terrible business practices, some of which I've seen honestly may be illegal.
But MrBeast, he defended the final cut, saying that it was edited for time and that no contestant was unfairly targeted. But even with that explanation, some fans weren't convinced. Did the editing choices actually change the outcome of the game, or was it just a misunderstanding? We may never know, but one thing's for sure, when there's $300,000 on the line, every detail matters.
Doing the right thing. Page 28. The longer people watch, the better a video will do. This is why I'm such a stickler about every single second of content. I wanted to pause and point this out because I see a lot of people, Jimmy fans, leaving comments saying, well, Jimmy didn't do that, his editors did this. And I want it to be very clear that Jimmy approves every single second of footage that goes onto his YouTube channel. He is obsessive, he is extremely involved, and nothing goes onto his channel without his approval.
And that's it. 7 times people cheated in MrBeast's challenges. Some got away with it, some didn't. But one thing is clear, when life-changing money is on the line, people will do anything to win. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and let us know which case shocked you the most. See you in the next one.